All right, people who are here for the live tasting. Yeah, she still had time to grab coffee. There you go, Val. All right, we're going to get started. Let me crack open the old Notion. Lou, thanks for coming on the flow. That was pretty amazing, boss.
That was so fun. And like you and Katie are so great together.
It's really funny that, like, when we started that sort of show, I didn't really know how it was going to work or how good it would be. But yeah, I actually enjoyed that show a lot. And we're about to go on our super long break from like next week until January. And I'm like, I get it. But I don't know, like even when we were at camp and we wanted so bad to shoot this, not being able to shoot it was like giving me the the withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah. Well, if you
It's
want,
weird.
we could do 4-hour sessions of Creators Unstuck.
That'd be crazy. Listen, hey, and you messing around the other day and doing your long streams. Like I really enjoy that. Like a lot of times I'm doing work or I'm just like sitting around doing things, but I don't know. Like as I sit there and listen to that, like I kind of feel like I'm still getting something just listening to you talking to people. Y'all might be talking about stuff I know about, but it's a thing. And before we get much further, I know a lot of people are going to be late because they think it's next hour. They'll come in the middle of the episode. Um, this link right here, which I'm pasting, is for Mary Lou's Cappy Cut class today, which is good. Keisha, what is up, ma? Listen, Keisha's the beast, man. I love her to death. She's so good.
Keisha. Hey, Keisha. And
She just like
Valerie. Yeah. So
she just like crowbar herself into the family. But like, I'm gonna sit on y'all couch and I'm not leaving. So we here for it, Keish. Look, we're here for it. I'm not
love
throwing
having
you
you
any
here.
shade, but I just love the fact because this is what I feel people should do. I feel like people should just go into community, let it be known that you ain't playing and you came here to get some shit did, and so let's get it done. I think too many people go in there quietly. They're afraid to say anything. They don't introduce themselves. They don't talk to kin folks, and then they come out like, I don't really like that community. I didn't really learn nothing because bitch, you ain't did nothing.
You didn't say nothing then,
You know what I'm
everybody.
saying? Like, community not going to just grab you and give you all the answers. You got to put in work too. So, I,
Especially when we're like digital, we can't actually see you walking by.
yeah, exactly. We have no idea you're in the room.
Like
There's
if we
people
were in a
who
conference
definitely
room,
lurk. I see the amount of folks watching versus the amount of folks commenting. A lot of people lurk, and I really don't understand the whole lurking thing, but I'm not going to throw you shade because thank you for being here. But, like, stop lurking.
oh,
Say
maybe they're
something.
lurking like because they're playing it in the background, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like we be doing. Like I just said, I be
Mm-hmm.
doing all the time. I'm forever watching y'all
Yeah.
and listening. All right, dude. Yo, I lied.
Yeah,
We
but
had
today, like,
13 episodes. We're on episode 14.
we are on 14, right?
Dang. Yo, we kicking ass.
Yes.
All right, there we go. See, there's Paco.
And
Paco come through and be like, yes, okay, I'm not going to lurk. I'm going to say, sup. Sup, Paco. Appreciate you.
next week or an upcoming week, I want one of our recording sessions to just be the shorts because I'm like building my list of stuff
Yo,
and we will
that'd
just
be
rapid fire
gangster,
through.
yo. Let's just record a bunch of shorts live.
Yeah, because the hope is that like right before the year starts, the shorts are in the circuit
Yeah,
because
them
I think
shorts
the
gonna
beginning
bring
of the year is where
folks.
we're really going to find uh, more people who could use our help. Because,
We're gonna
new
be
year,
like,
new me, where I'm like, you could start at
our
any time, but fine, I get it.
yep, our pod shorts bring all the boys to the yard. Damn right, it's better than yours.
Yeah, because
If
I'm
you
not a
want
fan of
it.
the cutting from the podcast, right?
Yeah, it
It's
seems better
not
when you can
native
do
to
it
the
natural.
style.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, queen, yes. We're not gonna give our friend credit for saying it, but he was kind of right. But I've always said that, so it wasn't like he came up with it.
No, that wasn't new. We had discussed that before.
Yeah, but he made Valerie and Lou irritated. So
Oh, Valerie felt the same. We can talk
I
about that.
think I
We need
think
to
it
go
was
on
a
a hike,
bunch of y'all. It
Valerie.
wasn't just you two. I think it was a bunch of y'all.
I could look around
Okay.
the room myself.
No reviews or talking, just stream games. Hey, that's cool. You can stream all the games you want. You know what? Listen, I think game streamers don't understand the amount of people who watch you guys play just for relaxing or to take their mind off of something crazy going on in that world. And so, for the people that do game streaming, you guys are a necessary part of the universe. Because I have totally been like, I just need to disconnect. I don't want to watch TV because I tend to watch shows that require me to think. I don't normally watch stupid TV. And I used to always wonder, like, how somebody as smart as like my sister or my friends and them could watch the Kardashians. And they were like, I need to watch this to turn my brain off. And I'm like, but damn, there's a bunch of ways you could turn your brain off. Like, I roll a joint. And they're like, well, I don't do that. So I watch the Kardashians. I'm like, but that's just stupid. You're just adding to the stupidity of that. But I kind of understand it because that's no different than me watching somebody play, Call of Duty or Madden or whatever. And I'm just on the couch, vegged out, watching somebody play, ain't commenting, ain't saying nothing, not trying to get techniques from them or whatever. It's just on, right?
Yeah,
So
because you get like the vibe of playing without the mental,
yeah, exactly.
activation. Yeah.
Activation. You know what I've been watching a lot of now is these people doing restoration or farming. There's some really good channels of people that live in these beautiful, bucolic places, and they're just farming and minding their damn business. They're not doing nothing. They're just farming. And I can watch this old lady. She's in Azerbaijan. And things like Azerbaijani cooking, and she just on the farm making the fruit roll-ups, like everything. And I could just watch Homegirl, and they don't say nothing, and their farm is beautiful. Oh, is your arm sagging? Or are you trying to find the right thing?
It is.
I got
because like the place where it should be is here, right? But
yeah.
She won't stay up there. So I just, Santa's gonna get me a new mic arm. It'll be fine.
I just got the new Elgato. I haven't put it on yet or made a video about that. I literally just got it. Okay, Luis, the file is to you in 4% more. Like, how crazy is that? It's almost done. Anyway, let me fire.
All right, so while that's happening, talk to me about the idea that you were having about it's initiated by a conversation.
It was initiated by a conversation.
So it's not about holding the mic that we want to talk about. That's just like the subject it's related to. Is it about intentionally doing things differently?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so it's one thing, and again, people in the community help out because I might say something that's crazy. It's about like respecting the craft enough to do something the right way and then break the rule versus just disrespecting it whole cloth because you just, I don't know. I have no idea why they're like this. But to disrespect the knowledge of someone who is kind of sort of trying to help you by telling them you're going to do it the wrong way because that's just how you want to do it, and that they're out of touch or they're old because they think you should do it the correct way. And I don't even feel like the dude's comment was almost mansplaining it in any way. I think he was just saying, like, the lavalier was created the way it was created to be used in this particular manner, and you guys don't need to hold it because holding it actually makes it sound worse. That was his comment. Dude, one person even came back with, it's called the lav. It's not a lavalier or a lapel mic. I think he said lapel mic. And the person said, it's called the lav and not a lapel mic. And I was like, Jane, you ignorant slut, that's what it means. That's where Jesus.
It's right there in the word.
You know what I'm saying? Like the lavalier, and we changed it to lapel mic because we couldn't pronounce lavalier or lavalier, as we tend to call it. It's actually lavalier if we want to be. Somebody French in here correct me, but I think my Haitian upbringing tells me that it's lavalier, not lavalier.
Okay, so.
And the lavalier comes from the drops on the chandelier. The chandelier is for the light drops, and lavalier is for the sound drops.
Cool.
Hey, T,
I like that.
You ruthless broccoli.
And it's interesting because, like, I do have a like it's come up for me where I was using a situation holding the mic clipped onto one of the, a mic handle, and the audio was really bad, but I was able to fix it, but it was because I didn't set it up correctly. So it's like you can break the rule as long as you're
still following, you're still following the basic principle. And I guess it's a combination of like respecting those that came before you, not on because they deserve it, because trust me, some of them don't, but there is a rhyme and a reason and a science to it, but you need to know the rule in order to break it. You know what I mean? But they don't even care to know the rule.
Right. So now if were these comments unsolicited?
So this was a thread that came up, and the person made the comment, and then Jessica and everybody else just jumped on him like, bro, you're old, you're out of touch. I wish I could find the conversation. I should have screenshotted it. I made a comment, but it seems like nobody answered back to what I said because I shut it down. But I'm like, but we've talked about this before, right? I even made a video about using the Rode Interview Pro, and that's kind of the reason why Rode made the Interview Pro, was to give you an option to make it sound better. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, and that's even the stuff that they've put into the new ones that have the auto gain. Help with that.
Look, it says, the comment was, imagine being so out of touch that you don't realize holding a mic like this is that's when you know it's aggressive. A retention tactic that it improves watch time. And 2, influencers couldn't care less what someone who's never done their job says they're supposed to do with the mic. And I'm like, that's just straight dismissive of the person who is trying to help. You know what I'm saying?
What was the initial
response? Comment was, dear influencers, lapel mics are intended to be clipped to your shirt. Non-lapel mics should either be in a stand or held stationary near your mouth. Lapel mics shouldn't be held in your hand and waved around wildly when you're talking to camera. And then it's like, this is a dumb take. Who the fuck cares where the mic is held for engagement? It's a tool. They're using it wrong. Come on. You're not pleasant to look at on video, to the old guy. Like there was a bunch of just like heinousness that came for this guy. Wait.
And then what was he responding to?
Oh, it's not wrong to hold a lav mic in your hand when you're filming videos. Oh, somebody said Sennheiser, Rode, DJI Global, sure. And of course, none of them answered because they want to sell stuff. But technically, then it says, oh, we could just do what we want. Tiny Mic Gang for life. And it's like, yo, you're defending the stupidity on spec, not even trying to understand where it came from or respect where it came from. And like, sometimes people are just saying stuff. No one's trying to attack you. Y'all turned it into attack by getting defensive.
Right. So, but what was the original post that
the original post was just, dear influencers, lapel mics are intended to be clipped to your shit. There was nothing.
That is the original
That
post.
was the original post.
Okay, so that's their original post. It's not like they were commenting on somebody's video where they were holding the thing.
No.
That's like that's the top of the thread.
That's the top of the funnel.
Yeah. And then it turned into
basically everybody calling the dude old. Like nobody even checked to see how old he is. As I'm looking at him, he says, his bio is political ethicist, host and writer of Reimagining Liberty, host of the Unpopulist Zooming In, prior think tank scholar, Buddhist and radical liberal. So like this dude is just being a nice dude. It's not even like, it's not even like
Read me the comment again. The first one, dear
the original
influencer.
Comment. Dear influencers, lapel mics are intended to be clipped to your shirt. Non-lapel mics should either be in a stand or held stationary near your mouth. Lapel mics should not be held and waved around wildly while you talk to camera. And I've said the same thing.
In stand or in your hand. Okay, so he's saying, I'm just trying to make sure we're starting from the same place. Okay, so dear influencers, lapel mics are intended to be clipped, and non-lapel mics should be in a stand or in your hand. Actually, can you just copy it and paste it to me?
I'm just doing it right now.
Yeah, this is interesting because we're like this is a conversation we have actually had.
Yeah, we've totally had this conversation.
Okay, so lapel mics are intended to be clipped to your shirt. Non-lapel mics should be either in the stand or held stationary near your mouth. Lapel mics should not be held in your hand. There are people that wave mics around when they're talking. Yeah. Okay.
I'm on the Rodecaster Duo. I believe Mary Lou is on the same. But don't let that get you twisted. Any interface will work in this particular matter.
I'm using a MV7 just plugged into the computer.
Okay, same with Paul. Paul
Today.
is just MV7 plugged straight into the computer. And Alicia, what are you plugged into?
Rodecaster.
See how she said that so smooth? Rodecaster.
That was so smooth.
Man, you mess around and let the Lions win the football game, and then she cocky.
Okay, so is your upsettedness, like the feelings that you're feeling, is it that they attacked him or that they're still holding the mics?
I mean, look, I'm not here to defend this dude. He a grown-ass man. I don't care if they attacked him. I think it's the idea of just like blowing it off completely versus respecting the conversation enough to learn the rule and then break it instead of just being absolutely dismissive of the rule. I mean, science is science, right? It's like saying, look, I know that, this vaccine is designed to cure this thing, but I'm going to purposely not do it because I don't want to. That's a different conversation from the scientists are lying to you. They're all trying to kill you. Scientists are stupid, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's a different conversation. If you make an executive decision not to do something based off of knowing what it is, I think that's one thing. To just blanket dismiss the other thing and cause a culture fight for no reason, you're kind of part of the problem. You're not helping.
Right. Okay.
But in the same token, like when someone offers you a piece of advice, it can just be like, yeah, you know what? We kind of do it for a reason. Like we understand that it's wrong, but we do it for this reason, and yeah, that's cool. Right.
Okay. Yeah, because that I understand, right? Because when we've discussed it, you're like, it's wrong, and it's like, yeah, I understand. Because now I understand even more audio, and like from working on audio and like you explaining that it'll blow out the mic, then it's like, okay, yeah, that all makes a lot of sense to me.
And it's really hard to listen to people and they're like, today I was picking a pepper and it's like, oh my God, sorry people. That is obnoxious.
So I have the interview Go that's like the little holder for one of the clip-on mics, right? So I was using that for some videos, but I didn't change the settings in the microphone to change it where it can be up close like that. And I was just like kicking myself when I'm editing these because I was like, these are trash. I can't use them. Now, fortunately, I ran it through Capca had like an audio fix thing that I was testing out, and I was like, oh, it actually did a pretty good job. Not like the best, but like serviceable enough. And so those things are there, but like they're not learning actually how to use their gear, which is like in general, right, the problem, and not respecting where things come from. So then this is making me think about like when people were like doing PSAs about not filming vertical. Oh, God. Do you remember that?
That was me. I was super anti-vertical.
Uh-huh.
And it was fine until the iPhone came out. when the
Yeah.
iPhone came out, that crushed it. Like that but it started because of the flip camera. And
Hmm.
then it switched into the iPhone camera. And yeah, man, it was crazy. And now it's so normal. But honestly, as much as I have to do it for work, I still hate it because I hate not being able to watch it on TV. I feel like all of
Hmm.
that vertical footage is wasted on my television. I only watch it in my phone. But it's also
Hmm.
very American to be like, I don't watch it on my TV because I've lived in China and places where they don't have a TV. Everything is on the phone.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like that is their entire entertainment device.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like with my CapCut class later, I plan on doing that vertical just because that will get in front of new people
Correct.
and the phone can fill up the whole screen. Kevin saying like mount your TV vertical, but then you have to like get YouTube to be flipped on the TV, right?
Yeah,
Unless you're just
YouTube don't do
screencasting.
that. Yeah, YouTube doesn't do that. That's funny, Kevin. Kevin got jokes. Yeah, it's so it's funny because
Okay, so what is the topic here then?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just I don't know. To me, the frustration is respecting that there is a way to do something, and either learning it the right way or being willing to learn, being willing to take criticism without just being defensive. I do understand that people have this feeling of they're being attacked all the time that they can't even take criticism now because any form of criticism comes off as an attack. And maybe the person's just trying to help you present better. And you will reach more people if you present better. So even if you're doing it for engagement, even if you're doing it to be cute, if the sound is bad, you're going to reach less people. Right? There are totally people out here who do UGC content on the point of making it look ugly and crusty because a polished video doesn't get as much engagement. Fully understand that. You're doing it on purpose, but you're still within the rules, right? The lighting is just enough that you can tell what the product is. The sound is good enough that it holds your attention. The editing pace, the storytelling, all the framework of proper filmmaking is there. You're just purposely making it look weird like Blair Witch. Blair Witch is an actual film made with actual film rules that were broken on purpose for the point of the content. Blair Witch did not say, hey, Hollywood, eat a dick. We're going to make it this way.
Okay, so then I wonder if the creators unstuck topic of like a creator getting stuck because of not being able to take criticism and just reacting.
Yeah, maybe that's the right angle. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know because like we could talk about this all day, like because there's a lot to unpack, but I am still trying to structure the show into something useful. But it also could just be discussion. Like it could just be a discussion episode.
All right, maybe that's what we do.
Okay.
Maybe we kill the structure and just make it a discussion episode because you stand with both feet firmly planted on either side of the line.
Yeah, like I mean, I get the tip, like because I'm always giving people tips, like when somebody doesn't have they didn't turn off the CapCut thing at the end of their video, and I made a video that was like, if you have this, then you should turn it off.
Yeah.
Right, but then it's like if it's a choice, right? So if we break down like the lapel mics are intended to be clipped, yeah, I agree, right? And then when you explained it to me that like, it's gonna break the mic. The mic isn't built for that, and that's why it sounds bad. Like you're actually damaging your stuff. Then I was like, okay, yeah, I get that.
And it kind of, yeah. So I like Alicia. Microphone etiquette 101. Know before you blow. That's funny.
But that's like not a technical show, right?
No, it's about breaking the rules Know the rules and then break them is really what it's about. And it's
Okay, I
also
like this.
about being able to take criticism without automatically assuming that you're being attacked.
I see. Okay, so you said let's talk about breaking the rules on purpose could be 1 point, and then taking criticism. I cannot spell criticism without feeling attacked or attacking. That's like the second point.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think those two should cover it.
Right? Because then we wrap it up and that'll go to somewhere. Maybe just like, and then interacting on the internet. These are still people.
Yeah, in is feeling versus feedback. I like that, Tora. You know, it's kind of funny because without getting too political, the red side loves to use the shock and awe of name calling and just being in your face because America's too soft and people can't take it and blah blah blah. But the minute it gets flipped back to them, they get really upset. They actually start to feel the feelings that we're telling them that they shouldn't do. But you can't tell them that. They have to experience when somebody comes back at them. Right? It doesn't matter which one you're on or who you vote for or who you care for. That's not even the point. The point is to watch. I've watched people do this for so long, and it's super, super crazy. Right? I've always, even in my own community, I've always kind of pushed back against the let's fight the racism by reverse racism against white folks. I used to push back against that because it wasn't making it better, right? It's just two people doing the wrong thing. It's almost that whole two wrongs don't make a right situation. But then it got to the point where you're just getting outnumbered by people constantly doing racist shit to you. Like, I can kind of see why the reaction is what it is at times. You know what I mean? Shutting a dude down that's trying to help you, claiming that he's mansplaining, is a reaction to the fact that somebody else mansplained you too much. That person might actually be trying to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I've seen that go down with just even members in my community. Like, somebody was legit trying to help them and whatever, but they just reacted. Paul and I have to deal with Voldemort. Sometimes we're just trying to tell that fool, like, this is what you're doing. But because he got bullied in school or whatever, he feels like we're instantly attacking him. It was like, nah, bro, you don't care enough about you to attack you. We're just telling you did it wrong. Sometimes you actually did it wrong. You weren't being attacked. You were legit fucking wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we just go. And continue the discussion. And then, what's it? 10:49.
Yes.
8:49 for you. 8:50. Okay. Cool.
Let's go. We wasted way too much time.
Yeah, because obviously there's more to discuss, right? So
right.
We'll just make that the episode.
I'm going to stop this recording. Drink this water real fast and start the recording again. You don't got copy me, AT. AT is my homie, dude. I just wanted you to know that you're a well-loved AT.
Your set looks amazing.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
You're on your way, baby.
All right. Counting it down. And 3, 2. Creators, today.
This episode.
See, we did it. Go ahead. Let it go. You go ahead. You start. I'll behave. I'm going to keep this in, by the way.
Okay. This episode of Creators Unstuck is actually a little bit different than our normal episodes because Doc has come across a subject that we've actually discussed a lot. We both have various feelings on, and we're gonna debate them. I don't really debate them. We're just gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about what the implications are and what might be right or wrong.
But
How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing good. So welcome to Creators Unstuck. Listen, maybe it's different because I am a professional audio guy. I've been in audio for almost 40 years, and I just respect the sound quality so much. But today we're going to talk about, there was a conversation where a person who I believe was coming from a right place just made a post, a blanket post to the sky. Dear, and I've said this myself. I've even made a TikTok about it. I didn't really get that much hate in the comment. I don't think. I haven't looked. Maybe I should check. It's like, dear influencers, please stop it with like holding the lapel mic straight to your face and talking and waving around wildly. And I understand that because those videos are really hard to listen to. Rarely, if ever, do you hear one that sounds good. Especially when people are using the fake little SM7B, the one that's about like this big. That thing sounds like hot trash. And instead of just, I guess my conversation was, instead of saying, oh, it's just a trend or it's just a thing, we know it's just something that we do, or we're just trying to be cute. They were like, you're old and you're out of touch. You don't know what you're talking about and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow. So a guy was trying to give you a constructive criticism and you came back straight to like name calling him and shading him and kind of reverse mansplaining him. Now you're, where would that be? Z-splaining? I don't know. It felt dumb to me. Like,
all right.
And so I just wanted, I know we've had this conversation before and you've schooled me to why people do it. And okay, I get that. It's still wrong. And
it's still wrong. Okay. So
yeah.
Our setup is a Threads post that reads, Dear influencers, lapel mics are intended to be clipped to your shirt. Non-lapel mics should be either in a stand or held stationary near your mouth. Lapel mics should not be held in your hand, and there are people that wave hand mics around when talking. So that was the original post. So this isn't a comment onto somebody's posting like that's holding a microphone. This was their original post, blanket to the universe. With the response being, as Doc mentioned, you're too old, you don't get it, you just coming back with a lot of negativity, where this is like a really is technical advice.
Yeah. I mean, to the point was like, who the F cares how we hold it? And the other one that killed me the most was, oh, we do it for engagement. And as a content creator, I'm like, I understand engagement techniques, but I think doing something completely wrong is kind of an engagement hack, in which case your content should be so good that it doesn't require those things. Like, there are no engagement hacks going on at the strip club, bro. Like, the content is the content.
The content is the content. Okay, so let's start with talking about breaking the rules on purpose, right? So there's the argument that like a lot of influencers gave was, we just do it because we want to. Now, from an audio guy side, a technical guy side, it's the incorrect way to use this tool, as you've explained it to me, which I didn't know, was that it can actually break the microphones because they're designed to like vibrate, and like it might actually break it's a capsule. Is that what you said?
Oh, she been hanging out with your mans. Yes, it break the capsule.
I've been learning.
And break the capsule. Which is that noise you hear. What you're hearing is the capsule slam against the bottom of the container. Again, that's the that weird noise that you hear. And yeah, I mean, maybe the mic, I mean, if you're using that little fake SM7B thing that's on a string, whatever, okay, that thing costs $5. They probably don't care that they broke it. But yeah, see, this is weird. I'm about to contradict myself, but again, I think it's one thing when you know the rule and you break it. It's another thing when you're just dismissive of the science, right? Not even that it's a rule that some person made, because like, who made the rule and who said this rule is right? Couple million songs inside your iPod or sorry, see, I just messed it up, in your iPhone or your Android. So here's a for instance. In the song, Air of Night by Phil Collins. Phil made a mistake. And when they plugged the microphones into the snare drum, somehow the wires was crisscrossed. And they got a sound of a snare. Instead of a snare going, doom, it was backwards. That sound became known as a gated snare. That sound became the snare drum of the 80s. That accident turned out to be one of the most incredible sounding things. And that's when you hear a snare drum that goes, zoom, zoom, and it almost sounds like it's closing. Instead of the sound of boom, it goes boom, and it just ends really, really quick. And you hear this all the time in 80s music, like boom, 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 boom. Housequake. You know, you hear the drum just ends. It doesn't ride. When you hit a snare, you hear the little things vibrate on the bottom. That was done on purpose. Well, actually, it wasn't on purpose, but it turned out so dope that it became on purpose later. That is discovering something new through an accident. That's knowing the rules of sound and pushing the boundaries of sound for the sake of innovation. And the gated snare doesn't always get giving credit to Phil Collins, but that's sort of how it happened. That was amazing. Now, if he just rolled in the studio, in a multi-billion-dollar studio, started plugging crap wrong on purpose, be like, I'm going to do it this way because I'm Phil Collins. Yo, there would be no Phil Collins. There would be no Genesis. Nobody would know that dude's name. He'd got his ass whooped.
Okay. So I have an alternate piece of gear or tool in music that was used incorrectly. Record scratch. Spinning, right? Like that kind of stuff. Some people can't stand the sound of that, but like when done well, it's kind of neat.
Oh, it's very good.
Right? So your thoughts on that?
Well, even the original scratching, again, accident, but when it came about, it got popularized during Grandmaster Funk and Grandmaster Flash, sorry. That was an identity that brought hip hop as this counterculture. The idea of sampling and relooping beats and doing all that. We're just doing stuff with the available equipment that we had because it was coming from a position of not. But in the same token, it was creating an art and a craft that you don't have to like it. Like some people don't like hip hop to this day, but it's still musically sound. Like it or not, it's musically sound, right? And I get this. All right, okay, so I used to get on my friends with the gatekeeping about what they call mumble rap, right? People get really, really bent over like, oh, these guys ain't saying nothing. They just mumbling, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fam, you guys used to sit at the edge of my DJ booth on Saturday just like dripping when I would play dance hall and later reggaeton. I go, you guys didn't understand a single word of boom, boom, mami, me go rum me that. You don't understand. I understand. I'm Puerto Rican. You don't understand, and you enjoyed every second of it, right? I play J-pop, K-pop, whatever. You don't understand. You enjoy every second of it. Something can be musically sound without you understanding it, but those things are still following rules. None of those things were being dismissive of musicality. I feel like saying, I'm going to hold this horribly sounding thing the way I want to hold it just because I'm trying to be different and dismissing the craft is dismissive. And you know what? I will say this. I will give a single pass only once. Every time we as Gen Xers did things like wear earrings, dye our hair weird colors, invent the mohawk, all of the above, we were breaking societal norms. But I don't think we ever did it as a way to diss anybody else. It was done in a way to allow us to have expressive freedom because we were tired of being pushed around and held back and given a bunch of rules. So we invented rule breaking. I'm going to make it really crazy. The people that come here talking about like, oh, our country's being taken over by immigrants. We wasn't the first people here. Nobody in this stream right now, unless your name rhymes with 2 feet, none of us was here. We all came from somewhere else. So the idea of now gatekeeping the country is weird to me. So I understand the idea of Gen Xers gatekeeping Gen Zers because we started the rule breaking thing. Technically, we elevated rule breaking. Hippies started the rule breaking. We elevated it. So technically, boomers, everybody, hey, boomer, they started the rule breaking. We elevated it. And then y'all are repeating this, not y'all, because you're not that young. They are repeating the stuff that we did, but they're doing it in more of an a-hole way. That's my opinion. All right, I'm sorry.
Okay. So interesting with the record scratching and with that becoming the anti, right? So I'm sure at that time there was tons of music aficionados and audio people who were like, this is awful. Who would ever? How dare you? This is disrespect because it's not the way it had been done. Now, I'm not saying that the holding the mics is right or wrong, but it is different. It's just like they're doing something different. And I see in the comments, it's like, it's not that they're being different. It's everybody's doing it. Gumby see, Gumby do. But that's just because we have the internet and we can look at a lot of people, right? We used to not be able to see everybody doing things. If we had the internet when hip hop first came out, more people would be trying to scratch their records.
100%.
Because they could see it and they're like, oh, okay, that's accessible. I can do it. So in an argument for why people do it, them not understanding, like they can learn, right? And then I feel like it's like when people start filming and they don't realize they're covering the microphone on their phone, or they don't wipe the lens, or they don't, like it's like a mistake. They've seen other people do it and they don't understand why it's wrong. They just see that it's done, so it must be correct. They don't know yet, right? And it's like
to
the
Tora's
thing
point
we talk
is
about
monkey
a lot
see,
is like,
monkey do kind of thing. Or she said Gumby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
they're definitely too young to know what
is
Gumby is.
They don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's where I appreciate this post, because it's, dear influencers, it's not an attack. It's not, y'all look stupid for holding the microphone. The post is, in case you didn't know, this is how these are supposed to be used. Right? So the rule breaking, the who's doing it, who's not, I see both sides, because historically we're all trying to do something, try things differently. Right? When I would mount my camera on its side because I wanted to make vertical videos with my good camera and not my phone, I got told that was the wrong way to do it. But whatever. That's what I wanted to make. But the reaction is really what I dislike about all of this. Is this was just advice. And as somebody who has been attacked in comments for doing something different than the norm, I see where people maybe were, this feels like an attack on them because it hit their feed, but it wasn't actually at them.
No.
And that's where people need to step back and kind of think a little.
Nobody got called out. And you, like you said,
Nobody.
He didn't call us. Now, when I said it, I've said, y'all look stupid. I specifically said that. He didn't say that. He said it in the Mary Lou way. Like, I have legit said it in an angry way. And, maybe I didn't get attacked because I look like I would remove your neck from your body, which is possible. But, yeah, it's really, that part was really weird. And to be honest with you, what you said about turning your camera sideways, at that moment in time, that is the correct way to get a 16:9 flipped 9:16 shot. Because shooting it in the normal way and cropping in is not technically 9x16, and you're not also not getting the quality of the full sensor. That sensor on its side is 9x16 because this way it's 16x9. So you were correct. The people who came at you were technically wrong, but that's because now people will use a camera for 15 minutes and they think they're Scorsese. Let me get my button handy. I'm gonna need that button today. They think they Scorsese. And it's like, pimp, you've been using the camera for 15 minutes. I had people come at me talking about, oh, in filmmaking, that's not how you, I was like, bro, I started when cameras were in 3-4 pieces. I've been at this game for a long time. What they saw was a dude with gray hair creating content, and they assume I'm like, some old dude getting into tech. I've had people come at me about like how to do things in their computer. I'm like, bro, I built my first computer with actual tubes and shit. Like, I could code in BASIC. Do you know how to code in BASIC? They be like, what's BASIC? Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get offended when people come at me like that because I realize that they just might not know. And yeah, I really didn't, to me, more or less, it wasn't the fact of the comment or me agreeing with him, which I do. It was the way they went for you're out of touch and you're too old and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, I don't know if you guys know this, but like slut shaming some dude for being old and experienced is really a bad look for the people who are claiming they want inclusivity.
I
the
agree.
People who hate gatekeeping, the people who got feelings about everything. We didn't have no feelings. We weren't told we were allowed to. Most of us are screwed up because we couldn't go to therapy. We didn't know what therapy was. Here I sit pushing 60 with ADHD and have never taken a single medicine for it because we didn't know what that was. That disease was, I won't say invented, it was discovered well after I'm into my 40s. So I've learned to deal with it. So I just find it funny that the hurt people kind of situation. I find it funny that their answer to feeling attacked was to attack.
Yes. So then as someone who has made tutorials on things, and I get told in the comments aggressively, that's not right. That's not how you do it. This is wrong. Like, I feel for this guy and I feel like I don't like it. I don't like it because there are better ways of facilitating discussion, right? And that's where I don't do the text-based content so much because I feel like people are too comfortable just typing stuff. Well, I'm a very much a say it to my face person.
Yeah.
Right. So and that's where when people would say stuff to me in my, like, okay, so I make videos, I talk on the videos. I got a comment once. This person, I don't know their gender, I don't know anything because they had no pictures and no videos, telling me I talk too much. And, it's like, I could go and
you should see my friend Doc.
But my response, I just was like, okay, there's a gift here. I can make something fun out of this. So I did a green screen video screenshot of their channel and their comment, their channel with nothing on it. And I just was like, I made a video where I didn't say anything because, and in my caption was like, obviously you know better than I do because of your channel of all your videos. No, that was just like a gift. And usually when I come back at people in the comments, like if I got time, I will have fun with it. If I don't have time, I just delete them. A lot of the time,
so you just brought up something valuable. The reality is, and we don't know what people's time schedules are or whatever, but it could have been a 10, 15 second thing. And it would have been like, dear audio people, we hold random objects in our hands like a microphone, like the analogous thing of, what's his name? Tom Cruise sliding across the room in that old school black and white video called Risky Business, where he's pretending to sing into the mic. That's what we're really doing. We know it sounds bad, but that's okay. We're doing it on purpose. That would have been funny. That would have been a good way to come back. It would have shown some creativity. It would have defended your people's honor and the whole 9 yards. But coming in with like, you old, you stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, we do blah, 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 blah. Like, that was, I don't know. To me, that was just whatever. And again, if we're factually, what I just said is factual. And Mary Lou told me this. People doing this is the equivalent of holding a hairbrush or me doing this with a tripod and going, hey, guys, people will be in a video. Listen, that's a tripod. That's not a mic. Why are you holding that? Because those people are engagement hacking. They think making people angry and making people say dumb stuff is a form of engagement. And I'm like, if that's your form of engagement hacking, you are single-handedly f***ing up the internet. Because this is why people say hateful things in the comments. If you're egging on negative commentary, you are a problem with the internet at large. This is why people feel inadequate. This is why people get their feelings hurt. This is why people need therapy and, have the IS. I'm not going to say it out loud and have to wash my mouth out with dirt. This is why. So if you're fake engagement, right? And to Dan's point, if that's your gimmick, pimp, then you should just learn to create better content, gangster. So if you want to defend being ignorant to cause drama as a way of, that's foul. That's foul. You ain't helping. So I'll come hot with that one.
Yes. Okay. So alternatively, there is the little kid in all of us that wanted to sing into a hairbrush. Right? And now they're funny. Creating.
Yeah, it's funny.
And it's fun. Right? So I'm not saying like use the microphone incorrectly, but there's that part of us that is like, it is just fun to just hold a microphone because you feel like you're doing something.
When you're joking and you're knowingly joking, that's one thing. When you're doing it for fake engagement, that's another thing. You know the reason. None of us will ever know. The person who's doing it knows. And that's the difference, right? Mm-hmm. I have definitely air guitared with a tennis racket. I have air guitared with a broom. I have air guitared with a tripod, right? I have flipped the tennis racket upside down and do the singing part of the air guitar, right? So I'm doing a flip it. Rise up, gather round, rock this world to the ground. Go for broke, come on, rock on. Flip it back. Driving radio. Like, I have totally done that, right? I have busted out Def Leppard with a tennis racket using both ends. That's on purpose. You're having fun. And I think the people that know that. So again, the person who answered back, there are a lot of people answered back. There's definitely a way to do it. Okay, you know what nobody did? No one came, I can't do it. I can't do it good. I'm not even going to pretend to do it, but I'm going to try. Here, let me get out. I'm going to mess up my fountain pen. But the guy who be like that, I know you heard that. Like, no one says, hey, that dude ain't playing drums. He is sick with it. He respects musicality. He respects drumming. He's doing what we did in high school. We were never that good. We were nowhere near. Yo, Gen X was using pencil drums on the table years ago. Gen Z turned it into a craft. Actually, I think millennials did it. Now Gen Z pushed it. But they turned that, into a craft. What you saw in Fame of doing random cipher in the lunchroom. Check out the way you hit the bass boom. Kids gonna rock these shops, these mechs. I'ma show you people crush all subjects. I'm D-O-C sizzle. I grab the microphone and I make the world spizzle. And now you're gonna see you come correct. Cause the D-O-C, I put the suckers in check. Because, that's how it started, fam. That's how it started. We did that in the lunchroom. We respect the idea of the cipher. None of us are gonna come at most of us aren't going to come at people for the cipher, for the technique, for the musicality, for the working with the instruments that you had, which for us was the lunch table. But the reality is we got that from motherland. We got that from Africa because that's what they did. You use coconuts, trees, rocks, hides of animals that dried, AKA drums. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we did. It wasn't a point of just yeah. So the bucket guy that started when I was living in DC. That started with a band called the Junkyard Band, and there was these 3 kids in DC that used basically original Home Depot buckets when Home Depot first came out. Yeah, those guys are fine. They respect the musicality. They're using what they got. They're trying to do something, but they're not going on the internet going, "Hey, drummers, you guys are wrong because you use real drums. You guys are old because you got a Zildig cymbal." That's what the people who came at my man's is like. They came on my man's like, it's because you got real equipment and you know how to do it correctly. You're the ding dong. You're out of touch. That's what. Thank you, Kevin, because you fixed what I was trying to say. I was getting sideways.
Okay, so let's talk about taking criticism, right, without feeling attacked or attacking back, right? The feeling versus the feedback, because this made me think of, if I put myself in the place of the people in the comments, it is a gut reaction that happens to me sometimes, and I now, thanks to you, have the phrase, the vision, the thing representing it is you got a cup full of bitch. Right? And somebody said something, and then you're just like spilling hot coffee everywhere because you were walking around with a cup full of bitch. And it just happened to hit those people at that time. And then when one person does it, now we're like on a roll. Everybody can pile on because we're all attacking this guy, right? We're all doing this. So, one person can set the tone. And unfortunately, it was the bad tone because it wasn't a discussion. It was an attack on, well, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, the first person who answered the comment, and I don't know who that was because the threads doesn't work that way yet. The first person who answered the comment answered with that defensive tone. And so all of the other people who otherwise would be offended all answered with that defensive tone. And then it came an attack on my mans. If the first person who answered the comment had a cup full of human instead of a cup full of bitch, it could have been like, yeah, bro, we kind of understand. But we honestly do this because it's fun, or it's analogous to singing in a hairbrush in the bathroom as a kid. It's just another form of expressing ourselves. And he might have been like, oh, I get that. Because he said, looking at his other posts, he seems to be a level-headed guy. He wasn't coming out. He wasn't trying to be a CWM. There you go. Sis. Yeah, got it. Black t-shirt. Anyway, so to what Mary Lou was talking about in the cup full of bitch is, here's an old adage. It's funny. Junaid posted this yesterday, and I'm like, I'll tell you the story as it actually is. I learned it differently, but I went and found some of its origins. And it says, when you're holding a cup of coffee and someone comes along and bumps to you and shakes your arm, making you spill that coffee, why did you spill the coffee? And the average people will say, because someone bumped into me. Wrong. The answer is, you spilled that coffee because there was coffee in your cup. Had it been tea in the cup, you would have spilled the tea. Whatever is inside the cup spills out. Therefore, when life comes along and shakes you, someone makes a comment, which will happen, whatever is inside of you will come out. It's easy to fake it until you get rattled, right? So, I'm gonna hold that thought, hold that soul. That soul needs a comeback. I will return to this. We ask ourselves, what's in my cup? When life gets tough, what spills over? Joy, gratitude, peace, humility, anger, bitterness, victim mentality, or quitting tendencies. Life provides the cup. You choose how you fill it. Today, let's work towards filling our cup with gratitude, forgiveness, joy, words of affirmation, resilience, positivity, kindness, gentleness, and love for others. Or you can fill it with a cup full of bitch. So going back to that pregnant soul, the example proved itself clearly. And again, I don't give a fuck about your politics. I'm going to tell you, me, Puerto Rican. Tony is a jokester. Tony is a roast comedian, and he thinks that he's funny. And in his roast comedian show, that joke would have landed differently. Right? or what he called a joke. If he is on his show doing a joke and he made that comment about floating island of garbage, in the context of that show, it would have been taken that way. Fat Joe, who is a roast comedian himself, said that. I loved that joke. It would be perfectly funny in the context of that show. But in the context of that rally around a bunch of people who think differently about immigrants, that joke wasn't about immigrants. That joke was letting your cup full of racists come out. So even if you're the fucking funny, this show is gonna get the mark. Even if your fucking joke is funny on Kill Tony, your joke in front of a room of 80,000 other white folks who a whole bunch of them are racist, that shit's not funny. In your joke, in your comedy show, in the mixed crowd, that joke is funny. But when you're saying it with a person who has done things to Puerto Ricans in a negative way, hold back aid, throw paper towels at us like some kind of fucking animals, not know that it's a part of America, treat us like it's a foreign country when we are a territory of America, that, my friend, was not the place to say that. Because I tell you what you wouldn't do in that same context, I bet you wouldn't have told that fucking watermelon joke in front of an entire crowd of people in Harlem who weren't at a comedy club. You wouldn't have gone to Fordham and stand on the corner in Fordham and say that watermelon joke, because you would not come out of there alive. You wouldn't go into the Fifth Ward in Houston and say that joke. You wouldn't go into the Detroit is my yard and say that joke, because wouldn't have worked. But in Madison Square Garden, in a room full of fucking white people, that joke might have thought it came off as a joke. And I'm saying, because comedians know this. Comedians are not going to say the thing that they use that are being quote unquote funny out of context. They're not going to say it in the grocery store because that's not the context. You know what I'm saying? When they go on TV, they turn off the profanity. Richard Pryor turned off the profanity on TV. Richard Pryor, oh, he's going all into kind of crazy shit. So that case, what was really inside him came out. He wasn't being funny. Well, it was funny at the time to those people because they thought it was funny because they agree with him. So that's what I mean by when you're pushed and you're put in a situation where what will you say when nobody is watching? That's what that one was about. What would you say when nobody is watching?
So then to the same essence here.
Sorry, Tora.
Right now, in the country, in the world, I don't know, historically, women are feeling a little on edge, right? As a lot of us are, right? A lot of people are, but women are feeling on edge. When it starts with dear influencers, and if you think about influencers, they tend to be women when they're described as influencers. So a man coming in and saying dear influencers, and if you just are on edge already that men are just trying to take everything away from you and tell you how to do things and tell you how to live your life, then the response, so it's like if we're looking at the context of the world right now, and whenever this was posted, I assume recently.
It was recently. It was like a couple of days ago.
Yeah. And that the reaction being spicy whilst unfortunate and unproductive, I'm not surprised. Right? Because it's projected, even though this is about lapel mics, the projection is my bodily autonomy.
Yes, the projection. I think that is very much possibly true. And again, you're right. You just said something. If a female had said that, it maybe not have got the same reaction. And I'm looking at my thing right now. I got one comment that was, I wouldn't call it questionable, was asking a deeper question. And on this other one where I did the same, I just got facts, facts, facts. Somebody even said it sounds exactly the same, which is funny because then that person just can't hear. But I didn't get any negative comments when I did the same sort of post as actual TikTok. You can see I'm holding the mic there. I'm holding that mic, and then I'm holding the other one. It didn't get the same reaction because I am a person of color. You know what I mean? So maybe
when did you post that?
That was a while ago. That was when we first came
Right.
back. When we first came back from NAB, so that's probably like April.
Right. So like a different temperature than like days before the election.
It's temperature sensitive. I didn't even think about that.
I think it could be.
I like that. I feel better about that than assuming they just attacked this OG.
Yeah, because like he's not wrong, right? Like
No,
I
he
see
ain't
that,
wrong.
and I'm like I get it, but like if you are in the mindset and when you're scrolling on the text-based social media, I feel like you are in a more aggressive mode. I just feel like the mindset is different than when you're scrolling through video-based content and like cats might pop up.
Yo, and then
Like,
Paul says everybody's a lot more on edge right now. And again, I mean, this is why I tell you folks, man, look, curate your social media feed. I hate the conversation that social media is bad and it does this because social media got me some of my closest friends right now. You know what I mean? Without social media, there's no Mary Lou, there's no Louise, there's no Paul, there's no Alicia. And then that damn Keisha lady started showing up. Like, you know, like Tora, she's the worst. No, like y'all wouldn't be part of this. But so I am not the person that's going to let you sit there and defame social media in my honor. Like, hold on, we about to fight. My peoples come from social. You know what I'm saying? If you saw me and Edith and Kat and Mary Lou at NAB, you would never think we only know each other parasocially. You would think we have been friends since day one. Like, you would think we grew up, well, we couldn't think we grew up together because I'm like 90 and they're young. But still, you know, you would think we kind of came up together, right? Some people even thought we're family. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, I'm not going to take that negative thing. You curate it. So if you spend a lot of time around places where you see your type of people getting attacked, that puts you on the defensive. You are filling up an endless cup of bitch. If you spend time around places where there's other creators doing the same thing, and if we were in Discord with a bunch of creators, and one of the creators said, "Come on, creators, you guys know better. That mic thing you guys are doing, it's really bad. It makes us look bad. It's hard to get traction. If we want regular people to take us seriously, we got to start doing things like the right way. So I'm going to posit, here's a really cheap one you can get that will make this look better. And I think we will grow as a UGC community if we started doing it where it sounds better and looks better, but still kept that UGC edge. I think there's a way. What do you guys think? Nobody would have been like, you bitch, you old motherfucker, you don't know what you're talking about. I think it would have been a different conversation.
Yeah, you know. And speaking of, what's your pick of the week?
You asshole. Mary Lou just came through. Yo, she just came through. She just messed me up. Listen. I'm sorry. I am super, super sorry over here. This Mary Lou just got me. Okay. All right. I have gathered my senses. We try to give you things that are going to be beneficial or helpful to you in sort of some way, shape, or form as a creator. And I got one that I just found. I just made a video about it. The video is on my channel, and it is about Blip. You got to go to blip.net, blip.net. I will even link the video that I just made on here. Right while we're doing this recording, I just blipped a 6 gig file to Luis, and it took just under 15 minutes from here. Had I been upstairs where I have gig upload and Luis has gig download, that probably would have taken about 5 minutes. I almost want to send it to Luis again when I get upstairs just to see how fast it is. Show you how simple this is. You go to blip.net and you blip, you download the blip, you double click it, it does a quick little installation, nothing heavy, and it just lives as a service. In the Mac, what's known as a service is something that's kind of running in the background, and when you need it, you right click on the file, you scroll down to the bottom, and you say blip. When you click it, it says, who do you want to send this file or this folder to? And you just type in the person's name. If they're on blip, like Mary Lou, she's in my phone book, so I would just click it, and I can send Mary Lou like a whole Final Cut project as an FCP bundle. She would double click it. It would be as if I handed her a hard drive. You can send zips, individual files, whatever's. Yo, it is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. It is the fastest, easiest, pain-free way to send files. It's like airdropped in something across the world. It's stupid good. So blip.net. Boom.
I got that queued up it's downloaded. Now I'm ready to use it after we stream.
And I don't know why she be on this Doc Brock situation. My new pick of the week is broccoli. No, it's not. Cut it out, Yolanda. Mary Lou, what is your pick of the week?
All right,
Stop
I'm
laughing,
gonna show
18.
you, but I need you to voice over it for me. You
All
can
right.
voice over it or explain it for the people who are listening audio.
Okay, this is funny. Oh, what we have here is a small little short tripod. It is not dissimilar from the one I have here by Manfrotto, because Manfrotto actually made it for sure. But this microphone allows you to put a dock pop directly on it and make it look good. So now she is pretending to, she's not. She did not do this. She is pretending to sing on the microphone with a dock pop as analogous to a real mic. I see what you did there, gangster. So go get yourself some dock pops. Go to docmerch.net. And I hate her for doing this to me. Why does she do that to me? Why she did it to me? Anyway, if you get a dock pop, you can fake your little fake situations way better. So if you want to look like you're doing something, at least get a dock pop. So then that way audio people won't come for you because they might think it's an actual microphone. If you kept it out of frame and you did this, no one would ever know that you're not actually holding a microphone. Ooh, I'm going to whole new market to sell dock pops too.
Yes. Okay, so a
You're
thought
stupid.
on
How you
while
did
we were
that?
going through that. That was actually because Tora had said something about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny." I was like, "I have this little microphone. Let me go grab it." Now, okay, so with the little microphone, some of them are designed where you can fix it to sound right because like Rode makes this piece so you can clip it. You can clip things to it and use it as a microphone that way. Like they did design that at some point. But if say somebody had their microphone positioned correctly, but we're holding something else and it sounded fine, right? It sounds great. It sounds
would be
correct
fine.
because the microphone is actually where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Then this is just for funsies.
Right. So if you did
Right?
like this, all right, this is cool, right? And you can tell in the clip, like when the clip sounds bad, the clip sounds bad. So like if you did
Yeah.
this and you put it here and you put the little magnate so that nobody can see it, it's like, and on the black shirt, right, I could probably put something else there where you wouldn't see it. Or when I have my beard, you never could see it. But then if you did this and you're kind of faking it and you're covering the magnate, like that would be cool. Like nobody can see this. Oh, here's the actual cheater mode, right? Oh, this bottle is not metal. Dang. I was
Oh,
gonna
I know
say,
what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
right? I could take
Yeah,
in yeah. Oh, mine's is metal, but it don't magnate. Mine's is real. Yours is cheap. Yeah.
This is
So like,
a
if
magnet
you're doing
here.
something like that and you're singing into your Stanley Cup, but you secretly was hiding the mic back there, I think that's totally dope because it still sounds
As long
good.
as it sounds correct,
Yeah,
right? It's
not that
because
it's
it
not the engagement trick. And to your point, hold up, homie. To your point, I gotta do this. All right. So let me get y'all with the ASMR. This 5 meter ass cable. Let me do this. Cause Mary Lou just brought up a whole new world. A whole new world. This is gonna look hella
yes.
stupid on Doc. But do you know what they do on Hamilton? It's here.
Hmm.
It's in the wig, right? Do I have an oboshi?
Yeah, that's like stage like Broadway, right? They're like putting the microphone
That's too
somewhere up
long.
there.
But yeah, if you had it like hidden in the hat or something and nobody can see it because you brim down, this would work. This is close enough to you for the good audio, and no one's really going to see it if you do it right. I don't have hair, so I can't judge like Mary Lou. But if you're doing something like this and the sound is great and you're doing something crazy like speaking into a fountain pen or something that would look even more ridiculous because I am wearing like a trucker hat, would be like holding a Barbie doll or something and talking into it and it would sound phenomenal, that would make sense. If I'm doing some weird like super butch mansplaining thing holding the Barbie, but I'm still getting good audio because I actually have a real mic, it's called like they do it in the movies, fam. That's why they have the microphone on the boom in the air. So no matter what they're doing, you can hear them. You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
story is important, but the story is not important if it can't be heard.
And if the pioneers of holding the lapel mic did it in a way where it wasn't so close to their mouth and it didn't pop, or they knew how to fix it right so it didn't sound terrible, this argument wouldn't be an argument. It'd be like, oh yeah, that's a different way to use this. But it's because
I tell
it
you a
sounds
prime
bad.
example. I'm not going to show it in this clip, but when I started doing this series, Nice to Know, Nice to Have November, shameless plug, I tried to connect the DJI mic directly to my iPhone via Bluetooth. It absolutely works. It works in the Blackmagic app. It works in the Moment app. It works in the standard camera app. However, this is very, very loud with my voice. It popped so much, it was disgusting. I almost would have had to hang the mic down here in the solar plexus because when I had it pinned where it belongs on the chest, it was way too loud. So what I would end up doing, I talked too much in my hands, so I didn't do it. But like I would literally have to almost put it out of shot so that it would be of the good quality. What I ended up doing was sticking it to the tripod because I can't grab it, it's too far back there. My Yolanzi tripod actually has a place to stick it, so I stuck it to that. Or, come here, sorry, gang, get off of there. That's what this is for, right? So you throw it up in the cage, and then you slap it on here, like such, and then it'd be perfectly fine. Because on my body, as a Bluetooth, too loud. With the receiver, you can adjust it. So all I ended up doing was just recording it in here and sticking them back together in Final Cut because it was better than just a straight audio using it as a Bluetooth mic. Then when I realized I just didn't feel like walking back home, which was dumb. I'm gonna tell you why I was dumb. I was only a block away, standing in front of the wall, and I spent 30 minutes trying to get that audio right. It would have taken me 5 minutes to walk back over here and get the Shure mic and then walk back and just record it in one take instead of trying to fix this one because the DJI doesn't have a volume adjustment, whereas on the Shure, I could have set it up and then it would have worked. But yeah, these are just, some techniques. If you want to do it, record the audio right. That's all.
Yes. I loved this conversation. So thank you for bringing this up, because there's like a lot to unpack, because an argument is not really the thing you see, right? There's always more to it. And I love spaces like what we have here where we can discuss opposing views, similar views, and actually kind of break things down as to why this could have gone differently. This
Yeah,
could have gone differently. And that's where like I think a
100%.
lot of creators will come out and they'll get unstuck. They'll get stuck in the cut full of bitch, right? Like it's happened to me. It's happened to me. And sometimes I just got to make the mean video and I never post it. I just have to make it just to get it out. I should just make a folder that's like a whole private channel that's just my petty videos. But
My cup full of bitch videos.
yes, the channel is called Cut Full of Bitch.
Look, I like what
And
Rich said. Doing it something like this, like I'm going to flex my beautiful leather traveler's notebook and my awesome Lamy fountain pens, but I'm going to talk about why you should be writing analog as well as digital, but I'll put the mic where the mic goes. And that, so Rich is right. I have seen people with clip the spatulas and tongs and forks and things like that. Those are fine. Because like Kevin said, you're getting the engagement hack, but you're also respecting the audio quality. So there's a way to do both instead of like just yelling at this person. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to
and that's
make a
where
video like that on purpose today.
well, and it's like the visual is not so much the problem. It's that the audio is bad because of the usage. Right? So if it's someone who's holding the microphone and they clipped it to anything, right? They're holding it close to their mouth, which is where the bad sound happens, but they managed to be able to make it right, then I feel like there's not so much of an argument.
Yeah. You know, it's not, yeah, it's probably not going to go away because there are definitely people who just straight up don't care. And I say that about being a content creator. This is something Rich and I have talked about in our Catch 22 things. There are definitely going to just some people who never want to create, but they just enjoy being around it. And they're kind of like support staff. And that's cool too. But I think it's better if you announce that than have people trying to coach you or teach you into something that you're never going to do because you're wasting both their time. Some of us coaches actually care and we want you to do the best for you. So if you're not going to do it, just fess up and be like, yo, I'm never really going to do that. I just like, the crew. I like being around y'all. Y'all make me feel good. Y'all are family. How can I help? I think that's a good conversation and we're here for you. But like to have us in here constantly yelling at you to do something you ain't going to do, that's a little bit jacked up. It's a little bit selfish. So, yeah, this was a fantastic conversation. I want to answer Diego's question. Sorry, I keep saying Diego because I'm Puerto Rican. It's Dago. Sorry. I don't know why I want to throw an extra I in there. This is a good question. I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. This is it started out as a small project. I didn't realize it was going to cost me damn near 40 grand. If I sell them all, I will barely break even. But if I sell them all,
they're great.
No, but if I sell them all and I created enough headroom that I could generate a second batch or a third batch, or it becomes as big a business as I would like it to become, then I could do it. But right now, I am sitting here 40 grand in the hole, and I probably sold like 500 total. So nowhere near close to recouping my costs. But it was something that I wanted to do. And so far, it's not kicked me out of my house. We'll find out if I don't break even. How much? Will, can I come and stay at you and Mary Lou's house?
That's why you're going to move to the Philippines. I see.
Now you figured it out. So yeah, I think people may not understand, and no shade against them. That makes me feel better if you don't. I am literally a single entrepreneur making a single product, and although it's foam, building custom molds ain't cheap. Like this mold, the mold for the pod mic, which is the one that didn't really exist. These kind of existed, but the mold alone was almost 30 grand. So that being said, if you want to make something and you're a creator and you got an idea, I got people that can help you make it, whatever it is. So if you want to make your own thing, holla at your boy. Maybe we should invent a microphone that looks stupid but sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if one by design,
Val,
like that little
girl,
one.
I swear I'd love this because Paul told me and I kind of cried like a little bitch. I'm like, oh my God, it's so cute. Val's gonna have her son. He liked the pops, and so he's gonna talk about these pops. And I don't know if you've seen him before. He is talented. He is a bad mofo. Kevin said the garbage can mic. All right, guys, we gotta go. We got Mary Lou got to teach CapCut, and Lou and I have been streaming since 6:45 this morning. We have been streaming for 3 hours straight, and then Paul is getting older by the second. This was fantastic, Lou. Thank you for indulging my craziness. This is gonna be a weird episode. I don't know if people will like sit through the whole thing and resonate, but it goes to what I tell you guys, and I want to make sure you hear this. So I am going to take the time to say this. Sometimes you do have to create the one that you just want to, and it might not get all the clicks and the views and the engagement or whatever you expected, but sometimes you got to make that one for you. Today, my partner let me make one for me that had nothing to do with us basically unstucking anything, but I kind of feel a little unstuck now because I've come to the realization that some of that reaction may not have been completely heinous. It might have been a reaction of being hurt, because hurt people hurt people.
And like things like this come up, and that's what we get stuck on, right?
Yeah.
Like, I totally understand. That's why I was like, yes, let's talk about this, because you feel some kind of way about it. And you're going to be thinking about it. So we talk about it. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a personal, an insecure day. It's something has come up in the world and you're like, what is this? Why is this? I can't stand this, because we want to protect our world, right? We are creators. We want to keep everything nice and friendly and productive and, things like that. But these things come up. So I feel like we got to defend our people.
I don't listen. I hear people saying like, oh, the world is so hard the next couple of days, because of what's going on here. And I'm like, you know what? The world has always been kind of this is going to sound really evil. It has kind of sort of always been a perfect balance of nice and good. I'm not saying that they're 50-50, right? Nice might be like 70% and effed up might be like 30%. But that 30% is so loud, it's like, the whole one drop of something ill in your drink. It just ruins the whole drink. So fill it with the one drop. Sorry. Anyway, it's always going to have some bad. I think the reason why it's bothering us right now is we're reflecting on it because today is an activation day. And once today is over, we can kind of just let it go for a minute, Elsa, and go back to doing good. So if you want the world to be better, then you be better. We can all do better when we all do better.
Right? And we can only control the things that we can control. Like I will control this Doc Pop microphone that I'm going to hold over here, and put this right out of frame where you can like kind of hear me, because there's no microphone on here, right? There's no microphone, but I'm Mary Lou Mandel. That over there, that's Doc Rock. This is his Doc Pops.
And you have been...
And Doc, you've been...
Unstuck. Unstuck people, see you. Mary Lou, you kill me. Popped. Oh my God, you kill me. You've been popped. Yo, you kill me. Sis, you're like, listen, y'all don't know this. My partner in crime is an absolute gem. I don't know what's higher than the diamond, but she's all of that in a bag of chips. That was good.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I just, it's balance, right? Like there's definitely been times where I was upset about something that was like not that big of a deal, but for whatever reason, it set me off. And I tell you about it and you're like, it's like, it's not that big a deal, but like, let's talk through it. And it's like, yeah, you're right. You're
right, Rabbit. You're right. Uh-oh. There's the thunderstorms messing with my electricity. I'm going to go upstairs and drink coffee and watch Mary Lou. When does your thing start?
It's starting at 2 p.m. Pacific, so in like just over 2 hours. So you get a break. You go take a nap.
I'm not that old. I'm not Paul. Sorry.
Oh, I take naps all the time. But so teaching CapCut, and if we get to it today, I'll show you when I recorded something where I was holding the mic close to my mouth and I didn't fix the settings, and I ran it through the feature in CapCut, and it got it pretty close. Like enough where I was like, yeah, whatever, make ugly videos, I'm just gonna post it. It was enough for me to just post it.
I'm gonna give you guys a quick video that I don't know if it's long enough for nice to know, nice to have, but this one is nice to know. I'm gonna teach you guys this really fast because it really only takes seconds, but this might blow your mind. And I'll decide whether it needs to be a whole video or a short according to the way you guys tell me. So, I don't know if Dago is still here, but after our last stream and we got to meet on Saturday, we were talking story. Dago followed me on IG. I followed them back because he does a show, a collector show. I'm a traveler. He's a traveler. So I was looking at the feed. Yo, fam takes some absolutely gorgeous pictures. So even more so, I was deep in. But here's the profile. And then as I'm scrolling down the profile and looking at these amazing photos, I get to this one right here, which is a YouTube video. And like we all do, the link said there's a link in bio, but there's also a link to the show in the actual right there. It's really hard writing, small writing, but there's a link to the show inside this thing. Of course, on IG, you can't click that, right? So you got to trust the link in bio. Mary Lou and I have a trick for that. It's called Stampede Social, but watch this. Take your phone and just do a screen shoot. Bingo. Click on the screen shoot. Bingo. And now click the actual YouTube thing. It says open in YouTube because on the screenshot, it now is text. And on an iPhone, any text that has a link is a clickable link. And so when you say open in YouTube, it actually goes to my man's channel. Well, in theory. But yeah, so you can do it straight out of a screenshot. And then from the screenshot, you can actually just click on there's a little text thing down here in the bottom corner. If you highlight that, that turns it into a little text thing. And then the link becomes actually clickable. And then it works.
I think a regular length video, if you can add a couple more tips.
Okay. Because it is longer than a short.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you do like three things you didn't know you could do on your phone, so you can be more productive, silly.
All right. Well, now you know. Thank you. So I just wanted to show you that real quick.
All right. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Peace out.
We're going to be on CapCut.
Y'all are silly. I love y'all. I'm going to go eat some broccoli. Psych.
All right.